Kristi Noem is not having a good week. She's not going to be vice president, and it's okay to criticize her. Welcome to the Jason Rant Show, presented by None Better Tax Resolution. She's the Boeing of governors right now, someone having a really bad news cycle. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem is getting criticized with the release of her biography. It's published by Center Street Books. It's called No Going Back. Now, Center Street Books is the best possible publisher in the history of publishers, because they did publish my book, What's Killing America. But you see, Noem finds herself defending against two claims from her book. First, the most notorious and shocking one. She took her 14-month-old dog, Cricket, to the back of the shed, and she yellered the poor pup. She tried her best to defend herself.
I hope people really do buy this book and they find out the truth of this story, because the truth of this story is that this was a working dog, and it was not a puppy. It was a dog that was extremely dangerous. It had come to us from a family who had found her way too aggressive. We were her second chance, and the day she was put down was a day that she massacred livestock that were part of our neighbors. She attacked me, and it was a hard decision.
Most people aren't buying the excuses because the average person would just give the dog up to a rescue or, I don't know, work with a trainer who specializes with aggressive animals. Now, I just got a 14-month-old dog, D'Artagnan. And you know what he does when he sees a bird? He tries to eat it because he's a dog. Though I do feed him better food than I feed myself, so you know. And it's not the only controversy. She made up a claim that she met with Kim Jong-un, the North Korean dictator. But she didn't. And now she's taking a pretty interesting approach to defending herself.
And I understand that they're attacking me for it, Jesse.
Yeah, they are. So they're also attacking you. I guess you said you met Kim Jong-un. Mm-hmm. Did you meet him?
I've been to the DMZ. I've been to North Korea. You know, I don't talk about my conversations with world leaders. And so when I looked at the book and I saw that excerpt, I decided to make the change to the content of the book, and that's been done.
So you didn't have a conversation with Kim when you were at the DMZ?
I don't have conversations about my conversations with world leaders. I've been working on policy for 30 years, Jesse, and that's what most people don't remember about me is I'm old. I'm a mom, I'm a grandma. I've got 3 little grandbabies.
You're not that old. So maybe you did have a conversation with Kim, but you don't want to talk about it.
I will not talk about my personal conversations with any world leaders. It just won't, and I'm not going to do it.
Now, that's kind of a ridiculous excuse. Now, look, I can get why she didn't notice the story was in there, because I'm willing to bet she didn't actually write the book. I'm guessing it was ghostwritten based on interviews, news articles, and the writer believed that she did meet with him. Now, Noem probably didn't closely read the book after it was written. It happens with high-profile lawmakers or celebrities who've got books out. This is normal. But Noem also recorded the audiobook, so she knew it was in there. Now, is it possible that she just glossed over that detail because, and I totally get this from experience, sitting in a booth reading a book for hours on end, days after godforsaken days, it really is easy to kind of get lost. But still, this is a massive screw-up that she is ultimately responsible for. Now, look, it's okay to criticize Kristi Noem. Really, it is, I promise you. I've seen some odd defenses for Noem's doggy side. And I can understand wanting to defend a conservative lawmaker because, look, we know they're often mistreated in the media. But when the lawmaker treats a 14-month-old dog worse than Joy Reid treats a cisgendered white conservative man, it's okay to call her out. Being a conservative, even one we like, doesn't make you immune to criticism when it's deserved and offered in good faith. Plus, D'Artagnan told me if I didn't call the behavior out, he wouldn't let me home tonight. Jason Rant's here with Greg Nunn, your local tax expert and advocate. Greg, thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, Jason, great to be with you again and talk about these tax issues.
So some folks out there have the IRS calling them nonstop or even coming to their door. What do you recommend they do?
You are protected by statute, by law, that when you have representation, they have to deal with your representative. And I am acting in your best interest when I'm dealing with the IRS. And I tell you, you don't want to talk to them, it'll just stress you out.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Greg might be able to negotiate a settlement for up to 85% off the original amount owed, and that includes penalties and interest. Call Greg Nunn today. Did you like that commentary? Make sure you subscribe to the podcast of The Jason Rant Show. Get it at ktth.com or wherever it is you download your podcasts.